Ah well, here we go again. So, entering the Grand Exchange, we see the familiar figure of Brugson Bergson with his megaphone. Although we haven't been able to get all the NPCs looking exactly as they did, because, you know, humans have changed shapes so many times over the years, and so have dwarves and kids, we did want Brugson's megaphone back, because for me that's quite an iconic part of the Grand Exchange, and I'd have missed it otherwise. And the buildings, with the flags around the side, and the familiar arches and the walls. Had a few people asking whether we were going to put the central booth in the middle. You can guess the answer, but the reason we did put it in the middle was that, you know, that seemed to be the more popular version. We could have done the version with, you know, the 4 booths in the corners to spread people out, and I do believe that would help you with the frame rate a bit, spreading the people out so they're not all stuck in the middle on top of each other.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, for most people, the Grand Exchange is this version of the Grand Exchange, and I'd rather give you this version. We can change it if you'd like in the future. So we got the clerks all ready, and you do not have to go through a tutorial before you're allowed to use the Grand Exchange. I could have recreated the cutscene, but to be perfectly honest, dev time is short. Postponing the Grand Exchange launch for another week so that we could write you a cutscene that you didn't really want to see in the first place, that tells you how to use a Grand Exchange that you already know how to use, didn't feel like a good move, so I haven't. Hope you're okay. And yeah, if you want to ask the clerks how to use a Grand Exchange, they will tell you. So yeah, let's get on and set up some trade offers.
Ah, birthday present.
Yes. Now what's going on there is for people who've been using the trading post. Popular question, this one. It might even be on your list. If you had some items in the trading post when this update goes out, they're not going to just vanish. I hope. Yeah, they're not going to just vanish. They're going to turn up in the Grand Exchange looking like a cancelled offer.
Okay.
So that you can collect them at your convenience and empty up the slot to put actual exchange offers in. In the meantime, I want cabbage. I'll have some cabbage. Cabbage. So I can choose how many I want. Cut the 1,000 cabbages, please. I can choose how much I'm going to offer. It's suggesting a guide price of 95.
That's awfully steep.
It is. Mind you, people do collect the stuff, and there's not a lot of people currently lugging it to World 1 Rock to sell there, so I guess that might be it.
Fair enough.
Now, on the interface, you see the button for setting it back to the guide price, and a button for typing any number you please, and also buttons for up a coin, down a coin. I've also done these 2 buttons on the sides. Now, these are the plus and minus 5% buttons. You go back to the oldest version of the Grand Exchange, there was a trade limit, and in those days there was an icon like this, but it took you up to the max and left you there. We don't have a trade limit, so I've made it act like the 5% button. You know, you press it as many times as you like, and the price go up, price go down. Because I think that's a better version than trying to set it to some kind of arbitrary limit. We don't want to restrict what offers you put at all. I'm now going to try and buy 2,000 cabbages at 50 coins each. Actually, stuff that. That's a rip-off. That's a rip-off too, but what the heck. Money is cheap if you've got this give command. Coins. 500,000 coins. Thank you.
That should do.
Yay. And there's my offer. Waiting. Of course, there's only us here, so unless Mod John C has gone and left a trade offer in from earlier, then I don't think anyone's going to sell us cabbages. So let's sell some cabbages. Give myself 1,500 cabbages. That didn't work. Oh well, let's give ourselves that many cabbages. I will try and sell them. I will sell 10 of them? No, all of them. And I will sell them cheap, because who'd pay more than 5 coins for a cabbage? Okay. And there it goes. There's my offer. Oh, and it's completed. That's nice.
Excellent.
So I see this is updated a little bit. Here's a tooltip to indicate what progress it's made. And here's my cabbages. I've got the option of collecting them as banknotes, collecting them as items, or banking them directly. You can use any of those things. And over here, coins, no banknote option for coins, of course, but you can collect them or bank them. And for what it's worth, if you had just one item, it would offer you items as the left click option rather than banknotes, because that's hopefully what you had in mind if there's only one item in the stock. Right, Now, I've got this extra button here, which we offered in poll 30, a collect all button. This lets you collect all the items to your inventory or to your bank in a single click. We're referring, of course, to the items that have arrived so far. So if I click it for this, and I get my 520 coins and my 26 cabbages, hopefully.
But the presents take priority. Oh, we still got everything else.
Yep, I got my 520 coins, I got my 26 cabbages, and as many of the presents as I could hold.
Excellent.
Don't, by the way, put those things on the trading post, please. You shouldn't be able to anyway, but it's going to really annoy you if you do, and I'm not going to be able to help you. Right, so that offer's empty again, and I can set up some more, but not for the presents. Nor indeed for the coins, that would just be funny. I could put the cabbages back up again, but I think for now I'll just come out of that and go to the Clark's history thing. Now, the trade history is not quite how you remember it. I looked at the old one, and it just had words like sell, cabbage, number, price, and that's nice, but it's not entirely easy to read. And also, they only handled 5, so we've gone a bit further with this one. You can see I've been trading a lot of cabbages lately, and yeah, here I'm showing a picture of the item so you know what it was and the total amount spent, which and the amount that was per item for your convenience. I'm hoping you'll like that as a new form of the trade history.
That's a very nice revamp.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Right,
I'm
we've
very
also
happy with
got
that.
on the Clark's item sets, as it always used to be. Now, we don't have all the item sets that we might like to offer. We hope to add a lot more in future, but they take a little while to make these days now that they all need custom graphics. Something I think you guys voted for. So we've added a load more, as you can see. There's only 8 in the live game at the moment, and we hope to add a lot more in future as time permits. At the moment, I happen to be wearing full bronze, so let's pack that up into a set. Yep, this is a bronze set for legs, and it's now packed. And here's my bronze set, which I can unpack and pack again. You see there's quite a lot of things. If you don't know what goes into a certain set, like super potion set, you can click it and it will tell you. That's how the trading post already offers it. I thought I'd mention it because it turned out that some of our staff didn't know today, so I will highlight it now for your convenience.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't.
It was me.
It wasn't. Well, it might have been you as well.
It might have been me as well.
He knows who he was. So yeah, we also got the cannon, the standard dragon hide, and your Barrow's kits, as well as supersets, and a whole bunch of plate armor in all the metals, with or without trims, up to and including the god ones and the gilded. For what it's worth, although there's a gilded scimitar and some gilded boots in the game, we have not included those in the gilded sets for now, since, well, all the other armor sets don't have them, and they're pretty darn rare. We thought we'd just leave them out for the moment. So yeah, that's item sets. You can offer them on the Grand Exchange as well, something I think the Trading Post doesn't offer. But yep, you can offer to sell the actual set or a whole stack of them in banknote form, and hopefully they'll turn up in due course. So I will have a set of a bronze set for legs. Yep, I'll buy me one of those. Yeah, it's turned up. I can have it as a banknote. And oh yes, this is sold as well. Have that. Oh, actually, I'll send it to the bank. Bye. And on my history, yep, these things have happened as well. I have bought and sold bronze set for legs. And here it is.
Awesome. I think we deserve a round of applause. If there was more people in here, we'd be totally clapping.
I'll have a sip of tea to celebrate.
Right. It's great to see this. After how long has it been since it's been voted in?
Well, it was end of January, wasn't it?
Yeah, end of January, and it's not even the end of February yet.
I'm quite pleased with that.
Very impressive.
I know it would be nice if we could have done it like the day after the poll ended, like we sometimes do with small updates, but I'm afraid this is not a small update, and we've done our best to get it right as well, because you really don't want us to mess this one up.
This is the cat clapping.
Oh,
The face with the slashes afterwards. It's a
Kappa. Right, now around the Grand Exchange we got the usual peripheral features. Oh, and bankers with their usual collect option, and you can hover over it to see the status of the offer as well. Don't want to forget about that. Every banker across the whole world's getting that, and all the bank booths and all the bank chests like at the Shanty Pass. Something that apparently we didn't do with the original launch of the GE, so we're having it for launch this time. If we've missed one, let us know, we'll sort it. I think I've got them all, up to and including Arnold Lidspore from the Piscatoris fishing colony. But yeah, we've also got the usual things like a poll booth. In our test world, the poll booths are always blank because they can't access the live poll results. Rather annoying that when we're trying to test things. But we're pretty sure this will work as a proper poll booth. Pretty sure. And also some extra people like the experts that you may remember from the original Grand Exchange. Hillfoot Hand the dwarf with his, strange conductor's hat on. Rilobo Blinio, the guy who does wood. And Bob Barter, who does your herbs, tells you prices, and also does decanting if you've got lots of vials. Now, for these people, hoping it shows, yep. Originally, their interfaces looked like this, all the items with the prices. And you could examine them and hover over them to see what the item was. The thing is, when you're looking at a screen like this, just sometimes, I find it a little awkward recognising which item's which. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I should be able to recognise this one's Cadentine, this one's Quam, and there's a slight difference in shade. But frankly, I find that quite difficult, sorry. So, as a kind of option, I've created column view, where you can see the items with their names displayed. It's in 2 columns, scrolls a little further as a result, but I'm hoping you'll find this one quite helpful. And if you prefer it as it was in the beginning, here it is, the legacy view, which will be there for you.
Do you want to showcase the decanting? Or
Oh, that'll be fun.
yeah.
So, in fact, I'll showcase it on the jewellery, because that was a little bit more obscure.
Sure.
Of course, I've got to remember what all these items are called now.
I'll just do a couple of Ring of Duelings.
Yeah, that'll be fine. So yeah, this is Murky Matt. No relation to our esteemed product manager, Mr. Matt K. He's here to tell you the prices of runes, mostly. I've expanded a little from what they had in pre-EOC Grand Exchange to list a few extra items that weren't there.
That's so nice.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The interface they had back in 2007 didn't support more than 30 items.
Yep.
This version should support, well, it's doing 62 in one screen, so hopefully it'll support whatever we need in future.
Just slightly more.
Yeah, might be convenient, that.
One of the nice benefits is it seems that you can kind of learn from not mistakes, but just areas for improvement, really.
Yeah, if 8 years of hindsight means anything,
Yep.
it means we've got the chance to try and do a few things that they didn't know would be wanted 8 years ago.
course.
Like our bank tabs, which I wrote rather differently to the other bank tabs, just because I'd got 8 years, 10 years even, to think about how I'd like bank tabs to be different. So, yeah, this guy, he's got a decant option. And it was very funny watching one of our esteemed colleagues trying to decant his runes. Like, he got a lot of air runes, he was trying to decant them and wondering, why don't they decant?
That wasn't me either.
Nope. He knows who he was.
I honestly did do that just before this stream. I took airs and fires and yeah.
I could totally write him to do that, but I haven't, and I won't. So, yeah, let's have some rings of dueling. Ring of dueling, 5, give me 3 of them, and 6, give me 2 of them, and ring of wealth, a couple of those. And let's have some banknoted stuff. Let's give myself a cert. Oh, what the heck? More rings of dueling. With 1 charge. And I'll have 50 of those. So, what this guy does is he will decant the charges of the jewellery. I've got all these charges, like 5, 5, 5, that's 15, 21, 27, yeah, I'm not good at this, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and he will try and combine them into as few items as possible. All done. He's a pirate. I don't know why we have a pirate advertising stuff at the Grand Exchange, but we do.
Pirates and jewelry go kind of hand in hand. I can see that.
Yeah, I guess. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 3, that's 27 charges. It works. Hey. And he's done the banknoted versions as well, and also the Rings of Wealth. Now, what he doesn't do is take your Amulet of Glory, or Trimmed Amulet of Glory, above 4 charges.
Okay.
See, you can charge him up to 6 in the Fountain of Rune at the Wilderness, but if this guy would start taking all the 4 charged ones and turning them into 6 charged ones, that would make the Fountain of Rune even less useful. So, and although it's got cosmetic properties that we find highly entertaining, we'd still like it to be useful as well. So this guy only goes up to 4 charges on your on the stuff that the Fountain of Rune takes higher. Hope you're okay with that. And that's what he's for. He's let you combine all your jewellery into as few items as possible. I've called it decant because, you know, having an option of combine hyphen magic underscore jewellery underscore charges, murky matte brackets runes, would be a bit of a mouthful that would fill a whole screen, so I don't really want to go there. Now, over here we have little Farid Morrisane, son of Ali. He's here to tell you the prices of oars and bars. We've added gems to that because we thought you might find it handy. And Hoffelhand the Dwarf, he's from Keldgrim, and he's here to try and encourage trade with the dwarves. So he's into armours and weapons. Ooh. Yeah, quite a lot of them actually. Originally it was just mostly sets of plate stuff, which we now have, courtesy of the sets existing, and your Barrows kit, but John and I added a few other things.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He's got the best stuff.
Well, we hope. We can always add more, but something we didn't have before. Now, Brugson, he's not an especially useful person in a game which doesn't force you to click through his cutscene. So to make him feel a bit more useful, we've given him an extra option for telling you the prices of items. Now, the reason we've done this is mostly not just to make Brugson feel useful, but because we don't have the Grand Exchange web pages. Yeah, I'm sorry, we know you want them and we know you expect them, which is right and proper, but we are not going to be able to have the web team do that for this initial launch. We don't know how long we'd have to wait for that, but we didn't want to have the in-game stuff tied to it because we'd like you to be able to actually do the trading ASAP. So that will come when the web team gets a chance. Hopefully with an API as well for the fan sites out there. In fact, they might even be able to do an API quicker, so we will discuss the matter with them once we've got the in-game stuff sorted. But until then, you ought to be able to look up the prices of items that you haven't got for the moment. So pick an item, any item, a raw shark?
A raw shark?
Yeah, shark. Raw shark, 830 coins on the market at the moment.
Sounds fair.
I hope so. Now these prices, since many people are asking, a lot of these come from Zybez. Thank you, Zybez, we are eternally grateful to you. A lot also come from our trading post, because it's got a back end and we can see what kind of things people have been offering. But also, prices have been adjusted slightly, taking into account that at the moment, you know, people bring items from all over the world and lug them to World 1 Varrock and stand there shouting for however long it takes, or put them on the trading post and meet up with people in person. It's big faff, which means that if you're going to bring items and sell them, you want a bit of extra cash for your time and trouble. With a Grand Exchange, you aren't really earning it in the same way. Finding a seller and finding a buyer is a lot easier. That's the point of it. So there isn't going to be such a markup for people having dragged the items from an obscure shop, put them into the Grand Exchange. Key example will be the gnome costume kit from the Grand Tree shop, Rometti's I think it's called. At the moment, those things are listed at quite a high price usually, and that's because nobody really lugs them around to the Varrock to sell. With the Grand Exchange, you can buy a whole pocket full of things, store them in your bank in the Grand Tree itself, get them out in the Grand Exchange and sit in the Grand Exchange, and you're not really earning a few thousand coins per item there anymore. So we've adjusted a lot of prices according to how we hope, or how we expect they're going to end up changing in the next few weeks. Now, you don't have to like these prices. The great thing about them is that we don't have trade limits. You can ignore them completely, raise two fingers to us, as I'm sure you're doing right now.
Oh, don't do that.
We don't have visual of them. They can raise anything they like.
Okay.
But you can offer anything you please, and over time, the Grand Exchange will adapt to show prices according to what you guys are actually trading it for. In the meantime, this guy is offering to look up the price of any item you please. Thank you. And in case you don't happen to be standing in the Grand Exchange, this price checker will tell you the prices of items, your items, wherever you go.
Ooh. Chat's about to go wild. This is a very exciting update.
You know, I wrote this a long time ago for the other game. I didn't think it was such a big deal, but guess it's still popular.
It's such a nice, convenient option. If you get something maybe from a Slayer task, oh, I don't know what this item is, not that experienced, wonder what it's worth, I can check right now.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So, it's based on the original design with the guide price shown at the bottom. Of course, back in those days, it had two panels at the bottom, one to show the guide price and one to show your current trade limit. We don't have one of those, we don't need one of those, so to just show the total guide price. And I've used the extra space to give us a button for putting all the stuff from your inventory in there at once, excluding, of course, the stuff where it's not suitable, like my rotten potato. And also this button,
I like this.
which again lets you search for any item you like. I think I would like some dwellberries. Oh, yeah, I can have dwellberries. And it will tell me the going price of dwellberries at the moment, which I expect will be coming down when farmers can start depositing their produce into the GE much more conveniently.
So just 1 second, guys. That means anywhere, at any time, no matter what, you can find out the price of any item in-game that's tradable.
Yep.
Disclaimer. Thanks to this price checker. It's actually really awesome.
I actually like it. We've kept the graphic from how it used to be. I think this graphic was drawn by Mod Wayne back in about 2009-ish. I've reinstalled it lovingly in about the same place. So yeah, you can open this any way you like, pretty much, and use it to look up the prices of anything you like, pretty much. So I'm standing in a field and I want to know the price of assorted, black flowers, yay. And it'll tell me its best guess. And now I've had enough of that, then I can look up the price of, a guam vial. Good. It won't give me the item, we didn't accidentally do that. Right, so returning to the Grand Exchange, because I'm aware time's ticking on a little bit.
I'll take your time, that's all right.
Oh, thank you. Well, also, I might want to go home. We've got the usual exits to the Rock Palace for them wants to go do some wood cutting. We've got the Spirit Tree and the familiar benches around it. Ian has lovingly mapped the trees back as they used to be. We've even got the low imp wandering around. He even put the buttresses back where they used to be, which is quite a lot of effort he's gone to there to make this Grand Exchange just the way you would like it. And yeah, I can travel on the Spirit Trees to the usual places.
There we are.
Yep. And back again to the Grand Exchange. Flip. We've also got the ever familiar agility shortcut. This is the one that used to be in the wall of the Rock Palace, so it's got a level of, I think, 21. Lag.
Yeah, we are lagging just ever so slightly, but you can still see what's going on, and we might even have a bit of a demo going on in tomorrow's Q&A as well.
That'd be nice.
All things considered, you get to try it yourself tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, level 21 as before, and also this trapdoor here. It takes you to Keldagrim. Would like to go to Keldagrim? Yes, I would. By the way, there's a right-click travel option for those who know what the trapdoor does and don't like dialogue. So I can now ride my minecart to Keldagrim. Now, when this was added back in the day, they did a big rewrite of all the other minecarts to make them free of charge. I've not done that. The Grand Exchange one remains free of charge because, thought you might want to go there. just hop in on track 3, and there are carts going to the Grand Exchange on track 3. So off we go back to the Grand Exchange. We could of course change all the other minecarts to be free as well in future if you guys would like us to, but I've not messed with it for the moment. Besides, how convenient do you really need it to be? Right. Now, over the side of the wall, we've got the usual fairy ring, that's not changed. But here, Lucien's moved in. Now, Lucien's house used to be just north of the Rocks Bank, in fact. I've evicted him and rebuilt his house over here. And there's Lucien walking around inside it. If you happen to be standing here when the update goes out, and you're not meant to be in Lucien's house, it will get you out automatically. So you don't get trapped in a house with a maniac Majorat. I've also moved the outlaws from the What Lies Below quest, they're here as well. And for the benefit of free-to-play, I've left the gap in the wall.
Once we make it there.
So that free-to-play don't have to walk all the way around the Barbarian Village when they want to go from Edgefield to the Grand Exchange. Now, I think that's everything I had to say about the Grand Exchange. I see you've got some questions, though.
I do have some questions. Do you think, while we go through these, we can perhaps get a taste of the soundtrack?
Oh, yes, let's have that. I brought back the Trade Parade, as it was before, and...
Turn that up a bit. Hopefully the stream can hear that. We don't have headphones, so we can't tell how loud that is. If that's overpowering me, my apologies. That should be good. We will find out in a matter of seconds, as I'm sure they're actually just going to say.
Okay.
Anyways. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. First question: how did you decide the prices of all these items has already been discussed? Will there be a limit on how many items you can buy per hour?
Yes, very important. Now, the Grand Exchange for years has had a limit on how many items you can buy per hour. Not just total items, but you can't buy 1 million battle staffs all at once. Because firstly, no one's got them. Secondly, even if you could get that many, we prefer people not to just acquire a monopoly all at once and then keep hold of them for the rest of eternity.
Sorry, just going to turn that down just a touch. I think that you never know if they're trolling or if it's just too loud. Sorry, as you were saying?
They'll hear it plenty in future. So, what we don't want is for somebody to just buy every single battle staff out there and sit on them for the rest of eternity and refuse to sell any until someone pays a ransom or something.
Right.
So, we do limit how many items you can buy per hour.
Okay.
Now, the limits they used in RS3 are, chosen for RS3's economy, and for some things they're really quite restrictive. Battle staffs, for example, I think it's 100 every 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
That's maybe a little harsh.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many battle staffs knocking about, but with Mod Reach releasing achievement diaries pretty soon, next week I believe, there'll be more battle staffs available from Zaf for people what done the diaries. So we're being a little more relaxed in a few places like that. Also, we're being a bit more conservative on a few other items. Now that's a temporary thing. With our Grand Exchange coming into a game that's got no trade restrictions, it's not going to be like 2007 where people could only offer things within a range of the guide price. People could offer anything, and therefore we do expect a lot more attempts to make prices go through the roof or through the floor, or both at once, which will be very funny. So to counter that, we've got the restrictions a little bit conservative for the moment. That's just a temporary thing. Over time we hope to be able to relax them and let the market have a bit more freedom.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have buy limit restrictions. We don't have sell limit restrictions. Been a few people asking about that. These restrictions I think are just for buying. Right,
that was the next question actually. So that settles that. No matter how many of an item you want to sell, you can sell as many as you want.
Cool.
All right. So a bit more of a personal question. Were there any unexpected challenges with the creation of the Grand Exchange?
You would not believe. Fortunately, most of them weren't me. Take this corner of the steps where I'm standing. This is the subject of, I think, 3 days' work from Ian. This floor and the building and the flags and the steps.
He did a terrific job.
Especially the corner. Yeah. Now, you see, we don't have an archive of how the game was exactly in, the winter of 2007 when the Grand Exchange first came out. It's a shame. We'd like one, but we ain't got one. Blame the people who were doing backups in 2007, whoever they were. So what we've done is we've taken the graphics from the next available archive, which is kind of pre-EOC-ish. Of course, by that point, HD had come through. The game was very different. All the graphics had been scaled up by a factor of 4 to give us more resolution. All the detail, like this little bit of texture here, had been replaced with actual textures on the polygons rather than carefully drawn detail. So we've had to do a lot of reconstructing, and Ian spent quite a long time looking at old screenshots on the internet and putting the dirt back where it was, and also doing draft after draft of these steps to get them to look about right and to be as they were in the screenshots. It's been a real labour of love for him. Now, Mod Ghost also worked on this for quite a few days, getting the models out from the archive, converting them to a format that our tools can read so that Ian and I can start using them. And I'm really grateful to both of them for getting us Grand Exchange, which, you know, you look at it and you say, that's a Grand Exchange, that is.
Yep.
All the way down to these little details on the floor.
We'll have to give them a Twitch round of applause in tomorrow's Q&A. Hopefully we can get them both on.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, it would be really nice. So,
So that was a real challenge, and I am very grateful to them for dealing with all that for me, because I'm not good at mapping. I did Zolandra, but that was relatively straightforward. This I think I'd have found difficult because they had to do a lot of editing of the models as well, and I am not a 3D modeler.
Right. All right, that answers that. Next question. All right, asking what time, we got asked this a lot, what time will the Grand Exchange be released? We already addressed that.
Yep, the answer for them is still asking. We don't really know, I'm afraid. We aim for late morning as always. It depends on various other teams being in place, and we'll reboot when we can.
Yeah, you will know. If you're on social media, if you're on Twitter, Reddit, anything like that, you will know because everybody will be going crazy.
Yeah, the GE hype really is real. I have just tweeted a picture of it.
There you go. All right. So how accurate was your estimated time of arrival when you first learned you'd be recreating the Grand Exchange?
Let's see, it passed a poll, what, like late January?
Yep.
And I reckoned that 3 weeks solid work should do it. Now, we didn't get to start immediately, of course, because there was a lot of other things that we'd polled at that point, and we needed them out. So I'd say we kind of started the Grand Exchange work in detail at the beginning of February. 3 weeks on would take us to about Monday.
Not too bad.
That could have gone a lot worse.
Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, next question. So can you show me the safe zones as if you were in a PvP world?
Now, I can't get it on screen because this isn't a PvP world, but what we've done, I had Boating skill specs in the other day to take a look at it for me, and they seemed generally pleased with what they saw. They said that the PvP world's safe zone should line up with the edge of the steps. So that is what we have done. At least I think that's what they said.
Yep, I agree. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. So yeah, we've done it based on where the steps are. Danger. Safe. Man with a piece of wood. Yeah.
The woodman. There you go, Tarzan. So it's just the edges there of the steps. I think that's a very visible, you know, doesn't get much more obvious than that. That's a pretty good idea.
I don't really want to have to start putting a kind of magic force field around the Grand Exchange. It would look just peculiar.
Maybe we could do the wilderness ditch. Surround it in maybe some water you have to jump over.
Well, people don't want it where it is. We could maybe put it here.
Yeah, who knows? All right, next question. Will we ever get a Grand Exchange teleport?
I expect so. Actually, there's one now on the Ring of Wealth if you've got it charged up, which I do. Yep, teleports to the Grand Exchange.
There you go. Look at that.
And for people what ain't been to the Fountains of Rune, firstly, go to the Fountains of Rune, take all your valuable stuff, bring the PKs. Secondly, achievement diaries back in the day, they brought out the option to change your Varrock teleport to the Grand Exchange. Obviously for tomorrow's launch we don't have any diary reward for that because we don't have a diary yet. Modreach may at some point in the future build that in, or he may build in something that works like it, or frankly we just change the entire spell to point here because we can do whatever you like in that regard.
Okay.
But for the moment, no, the Varrock teleport still points at Varrock.
So perhaps one of those things to make it to a future poll in the next couple of weeks or so?
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
Also, what we do with it, we want to spell out in the blog, because last time we did it, it was a little obscure. It was fine for the teleport spell, but then there was the telly other spell, I think, and oh no, we don't actually have that one. No, it's POH portals. If you're in a POH and you've got a teleport portal to Varrock, we had a big row about whether the portal should take you to where your toggle said, or take you to where your host's toggle said. And we found that 2 developers had done it differently for different diaries, and it was a right mess. So we should probably spell out exactly what we're planning this time and tell the players in advance and let them vote on it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, this is an interesting question. I'm a little curious myself.
This should be good.
So if I'm logged out where the Grand Exchange is, maybe I'm logged out right where that pillar with the hand is.
Yep.
Right now, and I log in tomorrow with the update. Will I log in inside of the pillar?
Yeah. Well, should be something like this. If you are standing in the pillar,
Yep.
such as because you logged out there, then as soon as the game can, it will do that.
Just move you out.
So I've done that. We've done that for the central booth in the Grand Exchange, and Ian has obligingly done it to every tree he could find in the Grand Exchange complex, and also all the wall buttresses as well, and the walls.
So you're telling me nobody's going to get stuck in a tree?
Well, the thing is, take a typical tree, as one does. If you find yourself stuck in a tree for whatever reason, well, just walk out of it.
Oh, you can get out.
Yeah, see, if there's an adjacent tile next to you, to which you have line of walk, and there's nothing stopping you from walking onto it, you can walk onto it.
Okay.
Out of the tree. So it takes a size 3 location before you can actually get stuck at all, because once it's 3 by 3 you can get stuck on the middle tile. But for most of these trees, and everything except the central booth itself, you could have just walked out. All the same, since people do get a little bit panicky if they find themselves trapped in the scenery, that's, well, which is fair enough, we've done our best to try and resolve it for you effortlessly.
Interesting. What I would do is I would try to get myself stuck in one of those pillars at the entrance and just say, "Welcome to the Grand Exchange." That would be a friendly pillar.
That, or you'd light fires and try to delete the pillar with the fire.
Okay, I do that one too.
Okay, maybe that's just me.
All right. Next question. This is the last one, actually. We'll look to the chat for maybe a couple, but the chat's moving very quickly. We have nearly 12,000 viewers right now, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Last question. This is a very good idea, in my opinion. It sounds like a lot of fun. Can we get a rooftop agility course on top of the Grand Exchange?
Oh, I'd love to do that. In fact, it would be a heck of a lot easier than all the rooftop agility courses we had to do before. Because the thing about the Grand Exchange roof is that it's flat. So if I just go stand on it now, this is the roof of the Grand Exchange. Nice little place. So let's do what one does. And burn magic logs on it. So yeah, if we gave you some way of getting up here, then you could
Light the Grand Exchange on fire.
it. Yes, and as it is at the moment, I do believe John found a way to get out of it as well.
I did not know there was a roof like that. That's really cool.
There had to be kind of something. Otherwise it looks funny on, well, pictures from above. I'm sure there's a way out of it. Yep.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, we're out. Oh, can I light logs here? I can, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep, it functions as a fully functional fire, and I can have a picnic.
So we can finally have a really nice purpose for fire making.
Yeah, we could make a fire making update on the roof of the Grand Exchange.
I like it.
Or we could do an agility course, which is what they were actually asking for. So yeah, if we gave you a way of getting up here, you can put anything you like.
Yeah. Just a big ladder, bring it to the top. I'm picturing maybe like some ropes to swing around the octagon shape. Just kind of just swing it around, and then there's that outer wall. Parkour around that.
Yeah, I like that. Of course, if you fail, then we could have you kind of slip on the rope and just swing off into space and land on the ground below and surprise all the people trading.
Yeah.
And buy, maybe.
Yeah, be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what's on the roof of the Grand Exchange. We could certainly put useful things on it. Although I do believe this is a place where a lot of JMods are going to be hanging around to just sit and monitor the game peacefully.
Definitely. All right, obvious question. If this is a PvP world, if we did allow players access to the roof, that would be a safe zone.
That seems reasonable.
Okay.
We can control it completely independently of the rest of the Grand Exchange.
All right. So it doesn't matter about the levels. So there you go, guys. That about sums up our Grand Exchange preview. Again, this will be released tomorrow, late morning, I believe, GMT. So let's say maybe 11:30 a.m. GMT. Don't take my word on that. But you're definitely going to want to be online for that.
One last thing to show them.
Yeah.
This was an unidentified Ranar. It's now a grimy Ranar, and rather than identifying it, you clean it, and it becomes the Ranar weed that we all know and love, which has not changed at all. Now, I had a few questions about why why it looks like it does. And the answer is we have not changed the old school graphic for the clean version. That's completely as it was before the update, and while we're very happy to change it to the RS3 one, like a few people have suggested, for the moment we're keeping the old school one unless you guys actually vote in a poll to say you want the RS3 one instead.
Right.
Which we are very happy to poll for them to want it, although I've had a few people saying they don't want it, and a few other people saying they want the grimy herbs to not be dirty, just to look green, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but hey, it's your game. So yeah, I just want to show that.
Definitely a good point. Seeing a lot of people asking about bonds. Bonds will not be released with the Grand Exchange. Instead, they'll be making their way, I believe, the second week of March? Or?
That's the plan. We certainly didn't want to do it before the price change, because it would be really annoying for all of you if you had like 3 days to buy bonds at one price and then membership prices changed.
Yep. So bonds will not be a thing with the release of the Grand Exchange tomorrow. They will instead be their own separate update at a later time in early March.
Yeah.
That answers that. Okay.
Well, that's everything about the Grand Exchange. I shall leave you to do some actual gameplay.
Okay, so this is actually supposed to be a community stream. Mod Ronan was supposed to be here today. Unfortunately, he's ill, so I'll be taking his place. We'll be doing some fun clan wars and drop parties. I have a bunch of stuff to drop. So if we can just get a thank you to Mod Ash for his time and demonstration, and you'll be able to find a highlight of all of what you just watched on YouTube later tonight.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and thanks to all of you for paying attention. Bye.
Awesome.